Yo, what's up, guys? It's Elijah here, and today I'm going to be talking about how I came out to family, friends, coworkers, really every single person I ever came out to. I would say the first person I came out to was definitely my wife. It was kind of like slowly, and it was also kind of like hints and stuff, which I don't recommend. I think that if you know that you're trans before you start dating someone, you should probably just like go ahead and tell them like straight up right when you meet them, or like at least when you start dating or something like that. Because I would just say like little things like I want to be a guy, or I wish I was a guy, or I feel like a guy, or you know what I mean, or just like do stuff in our relationship that was kind of like obviously I'm trans type of things, but she didn't really see it that way until I did sit down and have a talk with her like after we got married and right before I started medically transitioning, which was cool. It all worked out in the end. So it's kind of like, they should know what's up from the beginning. And then, well, I guess I won't be going in order because I don't really know who I told in order exactly. But I definitely think that the one that was most like kind of like more, probably the most nervous, my most nervous person I came out to was definitely my mom. I was super nervous. It was on Thanksgiving Day. I flew her out to Seattle when I lived there, and yeah, it was just her, and my sister was there too, but she already knew. Yeah, so she was like cooking and stuff, and I was just like hanging out, watching TV. And then randomly I kind of gave my wife the look like I want to tell my mom. And I knew I was going to get it out before she left, and she was only there for 3 days. And I was thinking it would be perfect if I told her while she's cooking, because that's when she's happiest and like, in the best mood. I mean, I didn't really know at all how she would react. She is super religious. So I didn't know how she was gonna react to this. I mean, she never really, I never came out as lesbian when I identified as female. So that was super easy. She kind of just like realized that me and my best friend were in a relationship together, and she never really said anything about it. She always said like you can love whoever you want to love and shit like that. I mean, obviously I wouldn't care if she didn't accept me, but that's how she reacted to me coming out as lesbian. So or being lesbian. And pretty much I kind of just started talking about random stuff, and then I was like, oh yeah, mom, and then there's something I've been meaning to tell you. I'm trans. I started taking testosterone, and I'm gonna be looking different, sounding different, and I also go by Elijah now, and he/him pronouns. So I kind of laid it out to her, and then she kind of asked me like, why do you want to transition? And I kind of told her a little bit, but I definitely didn't say as much as I wanted to say because I was just really nervous and I was just trying to get it over with. And she said that she kind of knew something was up because my voice was a little bit deeper. This was when I was probably like 4 months on T or something like that. So she said she kind of knew what was up. Here, another person I came out to was my little sister. She was probably she was my second sibling I came out to. I came out to her by, I think I just texted her, honestly. I think I texted her. Fuck, I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I just texted her. I said, hey, like, I'm fucking trans. I probably, like, showed her. I said, follow my YouTube videos, or some shit. I don't even fucking remember. I don't even know. There's, and that's the part, too. Like, I think that when you start coming out to people, maybe you should write down, like, how you came out to them. I know I have it somewhere in my journal, like, how I came out to her. But anyways, I think it was through text, and it was super chill. She was like, okay. She kind of jumped right on board with it right away, which was cool. My older sister, I came out to her. She was the very first person I came out to, honestly. I told her 3 years before I medically transitioned, I said, I really want to do this thing, I really want to start taking testosterone, and I really think that this is the thing for me. And she always was like supportive about it, and she always was like, okay, like, are you sure? Like, are you serious? And she kind of joked around. She was like, I'll transition too unless us both become guys, like, that kind of thing. So she was super, like, we were the closest at that time, so it was like super easy. And then when I actually did start medically transitioning and change my name and my pronouns, she's not the best at saying he, him, and my new name, only because I haven't seen her too many times since I have transitioned. I probably seen her about maybe 4 or 5 times. So, I think it really takes time. You have to see them in person, and then you'll see how it is. You gotta just slowly, like, hint at it. And I'm not the best at telling people of reminding people about it. All my brothers, I did not tell all my brothers. I have 4 brothers, and I didn't tell any of them. But one of my brothers texted me, and he said, "Hey, I know about your secret," or some shit like that. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he just told me, like, he was talking about the trans thing, and he was cool about it. I haven't seen him ever since I started taking testosterone, so at least I think so. I think I actually, you know what, I did see him one time, and yeah, everybody was still calling me Deja at the time. I wasn't so, like, I think that was like maybe 5 months into transitioning, and in the beginning, I didn't tell anybody, like, call me he, him, and by Elijah, like, the first, like, I want to say the first year or so, like, that's when I actually kind of told people, like, call me this, so yeah, it was, like, kind of normal when I seen him, but they all did notice my voice, and as well as one of my other brothers. He knows my voice, but he didn't say anything. He said nice voice, and I'm guessing that means, like, I know what's up, And then my other 2 brothers, I haven't seen them since I started transitioning, so they don't know. At least I don't think they know. Maybe my mom told them. Oh, you know what? Actually, my second to oldest brother, I did tell him on the phone, but I haven't seen him ever since. I told him, like, a quick thing. But he was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool," and he just asked me questions. And you know what I realized with all my family, every single time I told them, they were cool about it, and then they immediately kind of asked me, like, questions, or at least most of them asked me questions like, are you gonna have surgery and stuff like that? And that's always the question people ask, and I always say, I'm gonna have top surgery, but I won't have any more other surgeries. And yeah, that's kind of just how it always goes. And like, have you changed your name legally? And I'm always just like, I haven't changed it yet, but I'm in the process of it. But I have legally changed my gender marker on my ID and my driver's license. So that kind of is always how the conversation goes. Now, as for my family-in-law, they were all on board immediately. I believe my mother-in-law, my wife told her, and then she told my grandparents-in-law, and my father-in-law, I told him, but I didn't tell him, like, in depth. I kind of said I'm trans. I didn't say anything about, I think I said call me Elijah, but I never said, like, call me he, him pronouns, but he was on board immediately. Yeah, my sister-in-law, she's on board with it. Everybody, like, all my wife's family is, like, so supportive and, like, so, like, they just immediately had it, like, it's so cool. Like, I don't know why my family's kind of, like, struggling with, like, calling me Elijah and calling me he, him. And I mean, I guess it's just because, well, I'm pretty positive it is because I grew up with them, and they kind of know me as, they know me as a girl, they know me as Deja. So I totally get it, and I totally understand. I'm gonna give them a lot of time. Well, I'm glad that I don't, like, see them that often, or else it would be, like, kind of annoying. But yeah, so family in general, in-laws, and my actual family are all great with it. Now, I'm going to talk about my employers. As I said on this channel before, I never told my employers. I always just go in hoping that they see me as a man, and I always tell them, call me Elijah, but now I'm thinking from here on out, I'm going to say, call me Ray, which is my last name. Call me Ray, because Ray kind of sounds like a first name, and it's obviously like it's actually a gender neutral name. It could be male or female, so I'm just going to let people, I've been recently letting people kind of just say whatever they think, and I don't think that's the best way to go. If I were you, and you were, if you were transitioning, if you're starting to transition and you haven't came out to anybody yet, I would say just going forward, just go in as saying, hey, I'm male, because I really fucked up, and yeah, pretty much my job doesn't fucking know. But they all kind of get my pronouns jobbled up. Like, a couple of new employees, like, just recently started working at my job, and they all just call me he, him, and because I say my name is Ray, and, like, they all call me he, him. So it kind of seems like now I kind of, like, definitely am seen as male, especially in my uniform. So that's cool. Going forward, I'm going to go by Ray until I change my name legally, and I'm gonna really let them know, like, I am male when I'm going to my interview and everything like that. As for friends and strangers, normally, I don't normally tell them. I never tell them, actually, except for one stranger I told. she was like at the grocery store, and we actually were talking and stuff, and I said something about like, oh, my name is Deja, and I was like, oh wait, never mind, my name is Elijah, because I just recently changed it. And she was like kind of questioning it, and I told her a little bit about it, like a quick thing. And I did actually see her like 2 times after that. We hung out, and I did eventually say, hey, I'm trans, but she never referred to me as he, him, or anything like that. She wasn't really supportive at all, but I stopped talking to her, so it doesn't really matter. And actual friends, I did used to have a group of friends when I lived in Atlanta, and I came out to them while we were like playing a drinking game, and it went pretty well. It was like I forgot which drinking game it was, but it was kind of like Truth or Dare or something like that, or I don't even fucking know. It was a drinking game, and I just happened to say like, I want to be male and I'm planning on taking hormones, and they were all just like, what, you know? And but they were so supportive about it. They like, we all had nicknames for each other, and I think my nickname was like, I forgot what my nickname was, but it was like a girl nickname. And then after I said that, they started calling me a guy's nickname, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, and let's see here. Other friends, I kind of just say like, hey, like, you know, I'm trans. I normally always text it, and I'm just like, hey, I'm trans. Yeah, call me Elijah. Call me he, him pronouns. I believe I reconnected with a few friends from like high school and like a couple years ago, and they're always super supportive. Most of the time, they don't really think of anything about it. They're just like, oh, okay, cool, you know. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. So the reason why I made this video is kind of just to show you guys, each person that you come out to will react differently. I mean, obviously they will, but they will react differently. They have reacted differently for me, and as a whole, it's been pretty cool. I haven't had any troubles. I think my most recent, I just recently had something happen at my job. There was like a homeless guy, and he was kind of yelling some stuff. He was like on drugs and going crazy, and you know, I'm security, so I had to go out there like say some shit to him, and he was like, okay, ma'am, and then he was like, called me sir, and then he was like, I don't know, I feel like he was being kind of mean because he didn't know what the fuck I was. He didn't know if I was male or female. So, you know, there are some times where people are gonna be dicks, I guess, but it's really just like, most of the time they're not going to be. Most people don't care at all. Most people are just like, they just have questions about it because they haven't met anybody who's trans yet, and it's not that bad. I mean, because when I was first about to transition, I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want any problems with anybody. I don't want anybody to beat me up or something, and I also don't want my family to you know, be like, what the fuck, and just like never talk to me again. But honestly, in the end, it's like, if they don't like, if they're not on board with it, like, fuck them. Like, you can stop talking to them, even if it's fucking family. Like, honestly, if my family was like, okay, like, that's fucking weird, I don't want to talk to him, or I'm like, okay, late, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, so, and also with jobs and stuff, like, they have to call you your name, and they have to go by your pronouns legally, I believe. They always have that like a little paragraph at the bottom that's like, we can't discriminate, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have to say, guys. I'm gonna make another video soon. I think I might be making videos like maybe once every 2 weeks or once every week or something like that. I just been like in like a video making mood. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Later.